A lot of stories have twists that wreck the audience, stuff like Vader is Luke's father, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time, that kind of stuff. Massive mind-blowing moments. But those are just in movies, with 2-hour runtimes. Video games are a different story. They can have as long as a runtime as they need to tell the story that they want to tell. But with a ridiculously long story, the art of the twist needs to be done well. There needs to be the proper amount of build-up and clues for the rather perceptive players to notice, and there's only one game that I've played that comes to mind, and well, you saw the title. This video has complete and utter spoils for Persona 5, not just Royal though, as I haven't played it yet. So if you haven't finished Persona 5, I went into this game completely blind and would recommend staying the hell away from this video. Unless you don't care, and that's on you. But before we start the game, if you really don't care about spoilers, just go and play it. It's a great game, a 9 out of 10 for sure, and I'll be discussing the story as if you already experienced it and my general reactions to it. So with that out of the way, let us start the game. Persona 5, the game where it starts off about a high school student who's being sent to Tokyo as probation for assault.
Damn brat! I'll sue!
And ends with him summoning Satan to kill the god of control with a bullet to the head. I told you there'd be a lot of spoilers. If I actually ruined the game for you, that's your fault. Now let's actually begin talking about the day this game truly stole my heart. November 20th. Now the game opens the day before, November 19th, when Joker and the rest of the Phantom Thieves are escaping from a bombastic casino, and then he's captured, beaten, and drugged by corrupted officers. And then Nijima walks into the room and your interrogation begins, with Akira Kurusu recounting everything that's led up to this point, starting with his arrival in Tokyo. This is one of the best openings to a game I've ever seen, rivaling that of Metal Gear Solid 2, Super Metroid, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it sets the true tone of the story and leaves lingering questions that will be answered by the time the story gets November 20th. And as the game begins, the player is left with those questions lingering as he plays as what led to Joker's arrest. As the game progresses, after the third palace, Kanashiro's, you've heard twice now about a black masked man entering two of the palaces, both Kanashiro's and Madarame's, leaving the player with a lingering sense of dread that you will eventually come into contact with this black mask. And with the introduction of the character of Akechi, someone so adamantly against the Phantom Thieves, who so inconspicuously enters the picture after the thieves' major success. With Akechi, it's hard to tell where his loyalties lie, but there's a pretty famous and meme-to-death scene that, if you're paying attention, will cast him in a new light right at the beginning of the game.
And that reminds me, we get to go home straight from here today. We don't spend much time in this area, so why don't we relax and check out some shops beforehand?
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here! It looked delicious! What was that?
Oh, you mean Dometown? The round part is a baseball stadium, then along the outside they've got an amusement park.
It's right in the middle of a business area, but they have some pretty hardcore rides there too.
Alright, let's go. I'll show you just how courageous I am.
Going on a scary ride doesn't really prove any kind of courage.
Not like cats can get on anyways.
Really?
Really? You might be able to sneak in if you stay in the bag, but you'd totally puke if you did that. But, let's just go to Dometown. I'm really feeling it now.
Me too. My stomach's ready for roller coasters.
I think I'll pass on the puke rides.
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice your uniforms. Are you students of Shujin Academy?
Yeah, what do you want?
I happened to be passing by, so it seemed polite to greet you. We'll be filming together, after all. Where are my manners? My name is Goro Akechi.
Akechi?
Filming? What? You a celebrity?
Only to the extent of appearing on TV a couple of times.
Oh,
My apologies. I truly was just passing by. I must be going. There's a briefing for tomorrow's recording that I have to attend. So you're going to go have cake now? I missed lunch today, so I'm quite hungry myself.
Huh? Cake? What are you talking about?
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes. No matter. Well, see you tomorrow.
That guy's gotta be some kind of startup entertainer or something. He's never gonna get popular with that kind of hair, though.
you don't get it.
It's fine. We'll see him again tomorrow anyways. Come on, let's get to Dometown.
If you're watching because you don't care about spoilers, you probably are very confused right now. In this game, characters could only hear Morgana speak if they have been to the metaverse, which is the manifestation of the human cognition, an alternate plane of reality. And Akechi heard Morgana. So if you caught this on your first playthrough, you already had a clue to what is going on. In June, the third month of the game, a piece of the puzzle has already been revealed. As the Phantom Thieves continue to fight the good fight, they successfully infiltrate the palace of Futaba Sakura, and by the time you start with Akumura's palace, it seems monotonous, and I was kinda getting bored of the game. Add on to it that Akumura's palace is the worst in the game, it's just not as good as the rest of them, and the game is beginning to have a very clear structure to it. 1. Find someone needing a change of heart. 2. Anger them into initiate a deadline. 3. Change their heart. 4. The Phantom Thieves celebrate their victory. 5. Repeat. Besides working on the confidants and seeing their individual stories, I was starting to lose interest in the main storyline. And so that saddened me. I had heard so many great things about this game's story, so I persisted, as the threat of the true culprit grew and grew. Then the tedium of the palace system started to actually get to the characters. They acknowledged it in the game. As the Phantom Thieves started to come to terms that everything has happened so well up to this point, my interest kept regrowing and growing. And then the school's principal is killed, and at the end of Palace number 5, things go terribly wrong.
Be careful, Haru. You've shown these guys what luxury means. This'll really raise the bar for our next celebration party.
You're already talking about our next party? Don't you think that's somewhat premature?
See you
You're
later.
getting and that party will be for me. Still, how do I put this? I met Mona-chan. I got to know you all. Isn't everything going a little too perfectly? It's actually a bit frightening. You worry too much. I must just be overly cautious because of my circumstances up till recently. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
Hey, isn't it almost time? You know, for the press conference?
Oh, perfect timing.
Father.
Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to gather here. Today, I'd like to elaborate upon the whole truth behind my company's labor situation. How my employees were forced to work under severe conditions. How lax we were with sanitation. And how my corporation acted as a whole to cover up every facet of this scandal. For all of this, I wholeheartedly apologize.
So are you saying all of this was done under your orders?
Yes, I am solely responsible.
We heard that dozens of your employees were forced to resign due to mysterious illness. Furthermore, these happened to be officials who stood against your proposal for overseas expansion. The same thing also happened to executives at competing companies who were looking to expand abroad. Is all of this true?
Yes.
Was it all coincidence? We'd like some answers.
About that. I have a critical piece of information to announce here today.
Here it comes. Okuma is going to say who's really behind the mental shutdowns.
I...
Okumura-san?
This is when both the story and the Phantom Thieves had to kick it up a notch. The SIU's investigation was closing in and they needed to act fast. But before long, at the school festival, Akechi reveals that he knows that they are the Phantom Thieves, and he can travel into the metaverse as well. And this is when Joker's memory starts to get fuzzy during his interrogation. The drugs he was given by the officer earlier started to kick in. I thought these sequences were pretty cheap ways of not telling the player what's truly going on, but looking back on it, it makes sense given it's been set up since the very opening of the game. Akechi then makes this deal with the Phantom Thieves. He will help them in finding this true culprit, and then they will stop acting as the Phantom Thieves, but he will turn a blind eye. And he believes that changing the heart of Sai Nijima will be the most beneficial to all of them, since her sense of justice is off balance and she can't make rational judgments, and the thieves reluctantly agree to his proposal. The group makes their way to Sai's palace, an eerily familiar casino. Upon entering, Futaba grabs Akechi's phone, which is in character with Futaba, so I thought nothing of it. And throughout these events, Akechi seemed more and more suspicious, mainly that he has you wait until the 19th before you can steal Sai's heart. But when you defeat Shadow Sai and have to run out of there with haste, I knew exactly what this was. You finally caught up to the opening of the game. Joker is caught and told that he was sold out, and then you're back in the interrogation room with Sai on November 20th. You're then given the option of ratting out your friends, your confidants, and of course you don't, and while Sai is monologuing about justice, your memory floods back to you as the drugs are wearing off. The fragments of your plan are beginning to form in your mind. You remember who sold you out, and you offer to make a deal with Sai. She's going to give the smartphone on the table that Futaba messed with to him, and by now, you should know exactly who it is.
Akechi-kun? Why are you here?
Why do you seem so surprised?
I needed my director to step in to get access, and I was directly responsible for this case. How did you get approval?
For the same reason you did. I am heading up the investigation team after all. It's only natural I'd have the right to interrogate our culprit as well, don't you think?
They assigned you command?
That was a joke, of course. I'm merely here to assist with the public security interrogation. I am surprised it's this far underground, though. There aren't any others incarcerated here, yes? Nobody would ever know if things got a little violent.
If I remember correctly, didn't you say there was another culprit besides the Phantom Thieves?
That was but a lie I spread to set them up. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that I had deceived you too, Sai-san. After all, if you wish to trick your enemies, you must first trick your allies.
So it was you. You're the one who sold out the Phantom Thieves. I need you to be clear with me. Who am I supposed to show this to? My God. You're referring to him, aren't you?
Is there a problem?
Akechi-kun, does this phone look familiar to you?
Hmm? Excuse me? What is this phone?
It belonged to the leader of the Phantom Thieves. I believe you'll need it for your investigation.
Not personally. I was acting alongside the Phantom Thieves myself, remember?
True. This is undoubtedly a great accomplishment. Good luck in there.
Foolish woman. ask that you accompany me? Going in unarmed to interrogate a murderer makes me uncomfortable.
Huh? What are you...
I owe you for all of this. Thanks. That's right. You and your little friends were vital to our plan, and now it will be completed. Your popularity truly was quite stunning. That just made using you all the more worthwhile. Have you finally pieced it all together? Case closed. This is how your justice ends.
Oh my god!
Then the Phantom Thieves contact Sai as she's leaving, and Futaba, under the alias Alibaba, tells Sai to save Joker, and the screen flashes purple as she begins to walk down the hallway. And then the guard that Akechi shot dead is standing there alive.
And now we return to our continued report. This morning, the police have announced that they've detained a suspect who may in fact be the leader of the Phantom Thieves group. The suspect is reported to be a young
Anchon,
man who is...
can I get you to look over here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he got caught. That group sure was something.
Yeah.
So the next shoot got me thinking. How about we have you do an idol thing, you know? That cool?
What a surprise. To think that the one behind all this is just a minor. And considering how quickly they announced his arrest, the police must surely be confident in the outcome of this case.
Well, I'll be! Huh? Goodness, look at you now! It's been a while, Ryuji.
Huh?
You stopped visiting so abruptly, everyone was worried about you. It's your second year, right? Are you still doing track and field? I'd love to see you run again.
Also, the young man continues to remain silent, refusing to implicate any potential accomplices. However, considering the number of charges brought against him...
I wonder if something happened.
Yeah.
You seemed stumped for once. Not feeling it today?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not chiding you. Just do as normal at your own pace. With your skills, there's no need to worry about your future.
Normal. Right.
He's just a high school student. How do you think he was contacting the others? The police here can search any online communications. His accomplices may slip up eventually. Still, it seems the Phantom Thieves' most recent targets have gone comatose. Actual harm has been done here. Given the lack of physical violence, their method is still a mystery. Regardless, the police are looking into attempted murder charges.
You never turned it in? That's quite the surprise. I thought I lost it this whole time.
I'm sorry.
Well, your grades are excellent. And you're student council president. I'm sure you'll be admitted anywhere you apply. That one phantom thief should have followed your example. You hear? It seems he was caught. Some high schooler. I wonder why he turned to a life of crime.
We also received information that the young man was placed on probation for assault.
Because of his previous record, he had to leave his hometown. Perhaps his motive lies there.
I believe your father can rest in peace now. That phantom thief could never have changed anything. Only a handful of people are qualified to alter the world. So you've been coming home late. That's what I've heard. I make a good playmate, you know.
We have breaking news. The young man being held in custody has committed suicide. The police have confirmed his death, although details have not been released. To repeat, the suspect has committed suicide while in
Custody. This station will continue to report any further updates as they arrive.
It would be difficult to uncover his methods now. Perhaps that's why he decided to take this course of action.
It can't be.
You're shitting me. We got him.
After Joker's death is announced to the public as a suicide, I thought that was it. The game is over. You lost. Truly an unjust game. My mind was whirling with confusion during the cutscenes of your friends reacting to it. And then Ryuji smirked. Akechi fell right into the trap. This was the event in the game that completely rejuvenated my love for it. The leader of the Phantom Thieves was still alive. What the thieves did was ingenious. They created a cognitive version of Joker and used the phone to send both Akechi and Sai into the metaverse. And then they yanked Sai back in order to rescue a very patient and very alive Joker. Now, without Akechi tracking their every move and the SIU thinking the case was closed, the Phantom Thieves can move on to changing the heart of the man behind everything, Masayoshi Shido.